button. Let me go check over on the channel, make sure we're not talking to ourselves. That's only happened one time, but I want to keep it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
It's happening for. Okay, cool. Cool. We are live. So how's it going, everybody? We're here with Marcus from Introverts, and it's been a while, man. It's been a while since I've touched base with you. How's everything been? How's everything going?
Awesome, man. Thank you for getting me here. And it's been a wild ride since we last talked, man, because it was before our mint.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been more than a year. So yeah, excited to share updates in introverts. We have a mint coming in a couple of weeks, May 18th. So yeah, things are starting to heat up.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that. Man, I have some questions lined up for that. We normally have Clean up on here, but Clean was actually sick today, so he's taking a little break. I guess Block was sick yesterday too, so maybe something's going around. But yeah, for anybody who maybe doesn't know about introverts, what's like a quick little intro to introverts?
Yeah. So Introverts is what we say like a Web3 brand that blends art and technology to deliver amazing products and experiences, right? And what we call meaningful experiences. So we launched a year ago, May 15th, and through our OG collection called Introverts, which you probably heard of. Right now, our floor is like 4x the mint price. We have around 3.2 million volumes, so we're pretty decent right now. I think we are posed as one of those projects that are doing well considering the bear market. And also, what's important for people to know is introverts is is a little bit different than projects out there. Let me use another word. It's unique because not only because of the way we did the art, which is there's specifics there that are really different, but also because we carry a meaningful name called introverts, right? And there's a lot of people who resonate just with our name, which is really good for our brand, which is really good for building stuff in the future. But also, we gotta think about, okay, how do we get not only introverts but everyone who is maybe interested in stuff related to mindfulness or the mysteries of the mind, things like that, so we created this concept called the inner cosmos, which is the universe that lives inside you. So throughout the collection of introverts, you see there's a trait called inner cosmos, and introverts are in different inner cosmos. There are 8 different inner cosmos. And this is going to be really important for our future because we're going to explore the inner cosmos. Inner cosmos is going to be our ecosystem for the future where everything is going to happen for introverts. So that's also one thing that important. And I think also another thing that is cool for people to learn, like the way that I see, the way that the team sees it, um, as far as a collection of NFTs goes, we think there are 3 things that we need to be good at. But some things are going to be better. Some things we have to work out more within time. But there are 3 things we focus on. It think about a triangle, right? So you got brand, you got utility, and you got community, right? So those 3 things, there's a lot of stuff that you can do with your brand. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with utility, and there's a lot of stuff that you can do with community, right? And you can also do this kind of triangle with a lot of projects out there and see what their strengths are. So we like to think a lot about this triangle and where can we get better, right? I think, for example, for a brand, I think we're super well positioned to create something big in the future as the brand. With the community, we have a super engaged community, and also built different, right? We are not your usual degen NFT project. Is introverts is about meaningful connections. And also on the utility side, we are bringing a lot of gamification in the future throughout our collections, but also we're bringing a mobile app for introverts that will also make it as a platform so other projects can have their mobile app too. So there's a little bit of development there. Of course, we are in Cardano, right? It has to be. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff I want to share, but that's basically Introverts.
Gotcha. And I know some people are in here because they wanted to get some of the whitelist spots for the new mint that's coming up. So I just wanted to quickly tell everybody that we will be doing that, but we're going to do that towards the end after we've explained what these soul portals are. But yeah, there's going to be 5 given away on stream, and then there's going to be 5 given away in my Discord. We were supposed to give them away during the CCC event yesterday, but we kind of lost track of time. There's a lot of projects that I need to give out whitelist spots for, so that'll be happening in my Discord at a later time. But also, on the note of soul portals, the soul portals are the first of your artifacts. Can you explain the soul portals and their purpose within the ecosystem that you're building?
Yeah, sure. So is there a way I can share screen here, or
Yeah. Do you see the present button down below, bottom mid?
oh, so I can do it, right? Okay, okay.
Yes,
Let
sir.
me do this. Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I'm gonna do this correctly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, can you see here now?
Yep.
Okay, so pretty much all the information you guys need to have on the soul portals is on this website. So introverts.art/sp, okay? Or you can join Introverts website and click on soul portals, okay? There's also links in our Discord and then Twitter, okay? So the idea behind soul portal, and I think I'll talk a little bit about artifacts too, is first of all, artifacts is something that we had introverts, we have the characters, right? We have the PFPs, which is something that people relate to, and they use as PFPs too, which is great. I think for NFTs is a great way to launch your brand, right? But at the same time, we're thinking like, what can we do aside PFPs, right? What can we do besides like, okay, now I'm going to mutate my PFP and turn it to something. Now I'm going to launch more PFPs. I was always thinking about like how introverts should be introverts 6,858, and that's it. So this was really important for us. But at the same time, we needed to expand the inner cosmos. You know, we needed more elements, more things for higher collectability and things like that. And so we thought about 2 things. We thought about the inner cosmos ecosystem, which is something that we're launching next year, and we thought about artifacts, right? So that's why I'm explaining everything, because it's important for people to know. So the inner cosmos is, like I said, the universe that lives inside you. It's this whole magical place or psychedelic place, or you know, where everything can happen, right? So think about dreams. You know, think about dreams. Dreams is the concept of dreams and etc. is going to be on it too. So the way we're going to do this is inside the inner cosmos, your introverts in the future is going to be able to craft things, craft NFTs, craft things. Okay. So like Ape Society is doing in a sense, where you can craft items like you craft NFTs. So in the future, we think we're not selling more NFTs in the future. We want people to build their NFTs using and collecting what we already have. So planning like 5 years ahead, 10 years ahead, the idea is for this first 2 years is to build this ecosystem where people can combine these different things, introverts, artifacts in the inner cosmos, and kind of be able to craft and create NFTs. And the rarity of those items, of those things, of those that are going to be created there are going to be defined by what you hold, what you are combining. You know, so this is something that, so it looks like a game. It feels like a game if you think about it, but you don't necessarily need a AAA interface or like to actually show it as a game. Kind of an Ape Society, because it is a game. You craft items, you do things, but it's just a click like a point and click game, really basic. You click a button, you craft something, you wait for 10 days, and then that something can be grabbed for from another holder. Like a holder can steal your item in Ape Society, right? And they have a token for the whole ecosystem. So the idea is to create this gamified experience. So imagine like today you buy NFT, you join the Discord, and you can stake, and that's it. Like there's no, you basically enjoy the community, and that's it. So in the bull market, we think there's going to be a lot more than that. So we have to be well positioned to like, okay, I bought my NFT, I register somewhere in Discord or a website, what I can do with it. So it can have utility or it can be fun, right? It can also have access to something, right? So three things. So we're working on those three things, but basically what I'm saying here is more the gamified on the fun and being able to craft your rare NFTs and have a market for that. Okay. So artifacts is really important for that ecosystem because when you are creating things in the future, depending on what artifacts, what types of artifacts, you're going to be able to create more rare things, things that no one will be able to create, you know? So that's the main idea behind artifacts. And also there's talking about the a little bit of the utility behind it. We are bringing like, and this is a preview of the art, which is like I said, it's not PFP. Those are called the soul portals. It's the first artifact that we're launching, 1,314 NFTs. And what's going to happen here is your introverts is going to enter in a journey through that portal and come back with something. That's the idea for the Soul Portals gamified experience. So every single portal, when you see that portal trait here, this is the Arabic lock, this is the octopus, this is the head, this is the cybernetic eye. So all of these portals, and there are like almost 30 of them in the collection, they're going to do different outcomes. And also, depending on what you have in the middle, it's like this is the diamond, this is the eye, it can also bring something different. So that's for the gamified experience. But what if you are a non-holder and you want to join through Soul Portals? So this, we made this like thinking about not only the introverts ecosystem, but thinking about as if it was an art collection. So an art first collection. So you can see, and let me pull some of the things here. So these are some of the pieces. So all of these pieces are super high quality. They are all like handmade. Um, they are generated like traits, 1,314, but each one of them is very well crafted. So there's this artistic value that we believe in, and we think like NFTs in the future are going to be seen as an art movement. And the more quality of art you have, definitely something good to hold if you are a long-term investor in NFTs. So there's also that. So these are artistic pieces. This can be printed in really high quality, put it somewhere. And let me also show a new one here that we never shown before, which is this one. And you see how diverse they are, right? So very different vibes. And about this art, there's a lot of inspiration in tarot here. So there's a lot of symbolism. So each one of these things symbolize something, right? And that's also like to increase the richness of the art and the collection. So yeah, and then there's something called the art club, which only if you hold artifacts, you're going to be participating on it. And the art club is like a more utility related to the artistic side of introverts. So you kind of be side by side with our artists, participating on the creation of things, having some alpha, some special also editions of art to the participants, things like that. So we call it Art Club. We're going to review that soon. So yeah, 1,314 soul portals. And then just to finish this, what's also important here, and I'm going to bring the cosmic paper, which is which is really important for people if you want to dive in deep into introverts. It's really important that you read Cosmic Paper, okay? So this is the plan for this year. Of course, there's been some delays, but this is the plan for this year. We're gonna launch Soul Portals now, the collection that you're seeing here, May 18th, okay? And then we're gonna launch Wild Spirits, which is totally different art, totally different vibe, different collection. It's gonna be about wild creatures, wild spiritual creatures. So there's a lot of appeal to people for that too. And then it's oracles. I'll not talk about that. It's more by the end of the year. And then there's this 58 NFT super rare special collection that is going to be airdropped for the holders of the 58 ultra rare NFTs in Introverts. Because in Introverts, we have what we call the ultra rares, which are 58 ultra rares NFTs, which is this one here. So we have paintings, we have animated NFTs with music for Christmas, Halloween's. We have NFTs that has 4 different NFTs inside it, which we call the 4 seasons. So it's the same NFT, it's the same character, but going through the seasons. When you open on PoolPM, you're going to see different variations of it. And then we have 40 NFTs with soundtracks that we made for the collection, and they have slight animations in the background. They're super special. So those 58 ultra rares, which has a high floor right now, I think the floor is like 3,008 or something like that. And those are, you're going to be able to get an airdrop of those super special rare pieces. Okay. And regarding the mint information for this one, we made a very affordable mint for holders. And for whitelist, if you don't hold an introvert, it's 88 ADA. Okay. What you need to know here is it's the majority of the mint is going to be for holders. So the majority of people are going to be minting. They have introverts. We're going to have around like 300 spots maybe for non-holders. So right now we are like, there's much more people interested in getting those than we actually have spots. So we kind of have a problem now, because if holders mint everything, then we have a problem. We have to kind of stop doing whitelist giveaways. So that's good that we are doing this today with you, because maybe next week we can't do more giveaways because we are already full. It's 1,340 NFTs only, right? So that's it. That's the kind of idea behind artifacts and the soul portals and the inner cosmos. I hope you could understand. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I wanted to go back to the building part. It's going to be able to allow you to craft these individual NFTs. And then I was going to actually ask you, I think it's funny that you mentioned Ape Society stealing. I was like, is there going to be anything where maybe you could steal, or maybe, some sort of similar, gamification within that?
Yeah, for sure. What I say is, like, we look a lot, like there's something in introverts called trait-based staking rewards. So depending on the traits you have, you earn more staking rewards. So since the beginning, our staking system has that, even before Mallard Order, even before all of them. So the thing is, we always think about not like rarity as of ranking, but we think of traits. So depending on the traits, what you are having, and people who hold introverts and are into the project know what trait is more valuable or not only because of the staking rewards, but because of market sentiment value. I think there's definitely going to be trait related things. There are going to be things related to your NFT is upgraded yet or not, which is something that you can do in introverts. You can upgrade NFTs to have new variations of it, right? So this one here, let me just show you quickly. This one here is an upgraded version. You see this trait here up there. It's called the Viking tattoos, and you can now upgrade for your Viking to get like Odin suit, like a god suit. So you can do this pretty easy. You spend some C points and you pay 8 ADA, and we do the upgrade for you, and your NFT is going to become something like, let me get one upgraded here. for you to see. And
And
there's
is it just
yeah.
changed on the website, or is the actual metadata changed?
Yeah, the metadata doesn't change, but so here how it looks. So on this example here, which is the first one, uh, that's the original NFT, and then when you upgrade, you got this four variations of your art of your clothes rate, the wizard robes, and those are inserted in the NFT. And of course, if you see pool PM, they're all going to be there, right? But we don't change metadata because we didn't want it to mess up rankings. But what we do is we do a bump in staking rewards, right? So you can read it here. Upgraded NFTs, Wizard Robe, Magic Wand, extra 2 C points daily. So we do a bump. You spend C points, you spend 8 ADA, and we do a bump in C points staking rewards, right? Um, so yeah, that's upgrade. So upgradable NFTs might have something related to that too. So yeah, definitely we're gonna explore gamification, and Ape Society is definitely an inspiration. But I'm just saying as an example of how can I say that, of a gamification that is made really well without actually having a gaming interface, right? Or a game, and people dig it, people like it. So yeah.
With the C points, those aren't tradable, are they? That's not like on MinSwap or anything like that. That's just in the Discord for now.
Yeah, for now, C points is only in Discord, and we decided to put it like that because we thought, of course, we didn't want any risk of having a token. There's a lot of risks if you are docs of having a token. For example, right now, the biggest project in the NFT don't let US and Canadian stake, which is Bored Ape Yacht Club. If you are from US or Canada, you cannot stake to earn ape. You have to have a VPN or pretend you are someone else. And we don't know how that there's a settlement between SEC and Yuga Labs, and we don't know how that's going to turn out. So we stick it to Discord, but that was not the main thing. The main thing is because we didn't want um, attention shift to token trading. We wanted people to focus on collecting introverts and then the ecosystem. In next year, when we launch this ecosystem, like the inner cosmos, we're gonna probably move into a token because we want everything to be done on chain, right? So you'll be able to, for example, for upgrades today, you have to open a Discord ticket, and we kind of do the deduction within Discord. In the future, it's a website you deduct from your wallet, and then you craft your thing, so it can be done in a much better way and using the blockchain too. But yeah, we are also waiting on those things. We don't know what's going to happen. I believe everything is going to be fine for tokens, okay, not fudding. But yeah, definitely we're gonna shift and do a transition. So if you're familiar with Dirtbirds has an XP system where you exchange to Dirt, right? So C Points is kind of this XP system, really similar. I think Derp was the first project to actually do that in a really good way, like trait-based experience points, things like that. So C Points is similar than XP from Dirtbirds. And then you're going to exchange that to whatever token we're going to have to use it within the ecosystem. Yeah. And we got to think about ways for people to use the token. Otherwise, like if we're gonna use the token only like once for a specific thing and that's it, like it's not gonna be sustainable. So we gotta have a marketplace or something that people can actually buy the token or use the token, like burn it, by using it. So yeah.
Gotcha. So what is everything that people can do with the C points right now?
Yeah. So I'm pulling out also so we can have some visuals here. Cosmic paper, which is, like I said, the best way for you to see. So today we have raffles in our Discord. Right now it's been a week that we are with no raffles because we're upgrading our system, but they'll be back soon. So raffle for NFTs, whitelist spots, things like that. To do upgrades on the NFTs, like I showed you, you need C points. Our artifacts mint for holders, the Soul Portals mint, for example, it's 40 ADA plus 2,000 C points. So you're going to use C points to mint that too. And the Inner Cosmos in the future, and also Cosmic Shops. Cosmic Shop, you're going to be able to get discounts, things like that. One of the things that we're doing in the future, also with Introverts, is enabling holders to create products and keep the profits using RIP. So C points are gonna come inside all of this too. We call it introverts makers. So in Cosmic Shop, which is our shop, a shop is online right now. You can buy like this hoodie, things like that. But we want to expand our brand, and by we're going instead of us making the designs, things like that, we're gonna let people create the designs, and we're gonna have a system like to vote, approve them, and approved designs are going to be put in the store, and whatever it sells, the profits goes to the creators, right? And we're doing that with other stuff too. But Cosmic Shop is a great thing because we already have a production in place, so we can send the design, they will produce, so we'll do everything for you. You just have to be creative and create designs. So yeah, C points will come like in use inside that to get discounts and perks, things like that. So yeah, that's it for now.
That's pretty cool. So people are going to be able to design like their own hoodies, their own hats. Will they be
Yeah.
able to kind of think outside the box and maybe not do a hoodie, maybe do like a mouse pad or something that you're not, maybe offering at that time?
Yeah, like these things like mouse pad, t-shirts, hoodies, like even mugs, things like that is really easy for us to produce. But we just need the design. But of course, there are more custom stuff that, for example, we need to buy 200 or 100 to produce it, right? But for sure, mouse pads and the most common, let's say, NFT merch that you see out there, it's easy. But there are also custom things that we're looking to do in the future, also within the community. So there we have a trade called the Cardano Puff Jacket, which is, let me show here, is really rare. And there's people who, I know there's a holder who maybe is trying to create something for this, which is this one, to create like a puff jacket from Cardano, is it showing on the screen? Yes, it's showing.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, so this one, yeah, so there's some people are trying to recreate traits, but this is also introverts makers, but it's different, is a different vibe. It's a different, it's like there's a few people who are going to be able to actually produce, like for example, I want to produce the spacesuit, things like that. So that's actually gonna be harder to do that. But yeah, all kinds of things, man, like comics, books, if you want to write a story, all kinds of things. And team is going to be there to help with art, with marketing, with production, and maybe even helping with funding the project, right? So yeah, that's the idea behind Maker. I think I deviate a little bit about cosmic points, but I thought it was important for me to mention it. Yeah.
Yeah, all good. The other thing too, you said when you make these items in the portals, it's going to be determined by, the assets that you hold. Now, will those assets, they're not going to be burned or anything, will they? So could you theoretically continue to make the same exact item over and over again?
Yeah, so the combinations are going to be limited to whatever is already made, right? So if you pick the same introvert and the same portal again, then there's going to be a limit to that. But there's a lot of different combinations. Maybe you have 5 introverts and 5 portals, so you can make a lot of items, right? You can make different combinations. And also there's going to be some things that you combine different artifacts. So you can get a wild spirits, an oracle, and a soul portal and an introvert and craft something. So yeah, this idea, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the idea to do something like this came from when I played Breath of the Wild from Zelda. I don't know if you played that game.
Oh,
Did
it's
you
a
play that
great
game?
game. Great
Yeah,
game.
it's a great game. And Tears of Kingdom, which is the next one, they're actually bringing a new level of customization and craziness. Basically, for those people who doesn't know, the new Zelda that is coming soon, you can actually pick up a stick and pick up a, I don't know, a flower in the world of the game and put them together. You can pick your shield and you can put a mushroom that you pick on the grass in your mushroom in your shield, and maybe that mushroom, when an enemy attacked your shield, it's gonna release some spores they're gonna leave the enemies a little bit dizzy. So you can basically combine everything and have different outcomes, right? So it's a lot about creating things within the world. And but Breath of the Wild introduced that. You can do that with food, for example. You can cook things in the game. You can add different things. Also, Final Fantasy has a similar mechanic where you kind of combine different items to get like the weapons, so the ultimate weapon. So you need a lot of stuff that you gather throughout, a lot of items, and then you go into a special place that you only can access if you do X and Y, and then you craft and get the ultimate weapon. So a lot of the inspiration comes from those games, and of course, you cannot make two ultimate weapons, right? So you can only make one. So in most cases, you're only going to be able to make whatever the combination it is at that point. But there's going to be cases where you can do more, and there's a cap in supply. So, for example, in Ape Society right now, I don't know if you heard it, that you can do a deck of cards, right? So artists needs to craft things, a craftsman needs to craft another thing, and then you need four different items or three different items to combine and make a deck of cards. But there's a limit in supply. There's only going to be 500 deck of cards. So whoever do that first wins. So there's also this dynamic, okay, there's going to be only 10 of these NFTs. Whoever craft these first, get it, So you can start to work on the concept of seasons, of releasing stuff. So I think this is all, yeah, it comes from that, but it's all also looking at the NFT market, seeing that we're going to have to evolve to something more for an experience, instead of only like collecting for collecting. And I think it's a great way. Like, we found a great way to build that. Of course, we're going to build that throughout, especially next year. We're going to focus on that. This year, we're going to focus on release the artifacts. But people who are holders should be excited to hold those portals or the wild spirits for future things that they can do within Introverts. Yeah, to generate more value, things like that. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just got done actually playing the new remake of Final Fantasy VII. I think it was like last week or 2 weeks ago, and it was
Yeah.
so good. I had such a good time. Oh my god, it was absolutely insane. I didn't think that they could make the remake as good as the original, so I kind of played it just thinking like, oh, I'll just have a little bit of fun. I'm not gonna take it too serious. And there were moments, man, I was freaking tearing up. I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
But I didn't play the remake, but the original I played for PS, I played for PC. I had like a PC version. And what I did with the new one, I actually watched the streamer, like while I'm working, I put on the other screen here, and there's always something on. And I put like complete walkthrough or completing Final Fantasy, like the whole series. And then I just watch like the beauty of the game. It's just awesome, like what they did. I think didn't they release something new of this Final Fantasy VII, or expansion, something like that. I think
They
they're
did like
planning.
a part 1, and then they
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
part 2, and I
Oh,
think they're
okay,
gonna
yeah.
be making a part 3, but it won't be a part of the same game. I think it's gonna be from a different perspective, or maybe a prequel or a sequel to that game, something like that.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
have that to look forward to at some point, probably 2024 or later, if I had to guess.
Awesome. That's awesome. But what I'm excited right now is this new Zelda, man. Like I like Breath of the Wild. I didn't have the time to finish the game because it's so huge. Like you can spend hours on that. But Tears of Kingdom, it's even more. I'm like I can't even start playing that because you can do so many stuff. Like, I think it's gonna be game of the year, man. Tears of Kingdom, it's gonna be
What has
there
surprised
game
me,
of the year.
I've seen the trailers. Have you seen the trailer of where he's like
Yeah,
walking to Ganondorf's like death or whatever, to where
yeah,
he's
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and he's not dead obviously because Ganondorf never dies, but yeah,
Yeah, it never
they build up
dies.
they build up so much suspense in that trailer. It looks so good.
Yeah, yeah. It was one of the best trailers I've seen for a game, man. really good one. And I see there's a video I'm going to send you later on, which shows like the tech, not the tech, but what you can do in the world. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, I'll
it
definitely
came
watch
after
that.
the trailer. Man, this is just like you can basically create an aircraft using
What?
things that are in the world. Like you pick some woods and then you put the woods together and you create a boat. You put the woods together and then there's a flying motor that you can get, and then you put the flying motor. You basically can construct things like aircrafts, boats, things like that to go through the places, right? And what they are saying, like for example, they had five different players. Okay, you need to get there. There's some stuff in the world that you're going to be able to create something to get there. All the five different players who were playing the demo came up with different outcomes and different types of vehicles using the stuff, you know.
That's
So,
awesome.
and because now you can like there's a power in Zelda where you can attract things. You can levitate, no, grab things. It's like
Like a
a
magnet?
yeah, like a magnet, things like that. But you now you can grab everything in the world, like rocks. In the first Zelda game, you could only do that inside of shrines, I think. So
It
now,
was like
or with
metal items only, I think.
yeah, or metal items. Yeah, now you can do with pretty much everything. Like, and it's yeah, so it's really cool. We could talk more about that, but yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask too, with the things that you're gonna be creating, will those turn maybe into physical items too, similar to how you could have bought the pack of cards, the deck of cards from Clay, and Clay Nation sent you the pack of cards along with that link to the NFT?
Yeah, definitely. There's something like we're looking at with merch first. How can we want to, I don't know if it's going to be on CNFT Con or Rare Evo, I don't know what conference is going to be, but we wanted to do some sort of limited edition like hoodie or something like that that has an NFT into it, right? So start with merch, but definitely we think about it's digital, right? Like the digital, or say like that, which is something that there's projects in Ethereum who are doing this pretty well. There's this project who was bought by Nike called the company is actually called Artifact, which is RTF, and so and they are releasing some sneakers, really cool ones. And there's a ship inside by Nike. They released, I think, a couple of weeks ago, the first version with Nike. And so yeah, definitely there's something we can explore. But the thing is, we want to start at least like after the mint, like at least this year, we want to start to see the community building things with us, right? So if you have a certain skill set, if you have something you want to contribute, like we're going to prioritize us building together and you getting, of course, the profits for it. So, because I think something that is not well explored in Cardano projects is exactly that, people building with the IP. There's a few projects actually doing that. I can maybe put in my hands, you know. So we can't be centralized forever. It's only Introverts team building stuff for holders. No, holders have to be able to build things and actually monetize themselves by being builders, you know. So how do you do that? So we're going to start with Introverts makers and so on. We create a dialogue and people will have ideas, and this I think will go into crazy things throughout the future. So not only like books or the merch that I'm saying, maybe even more crazy things that people can create. Yeah.
Gotcha. And then you mentioned the Inner Cosmos as well, and that's your collection where I think it says it's going to be launched in 2024, but then it says that
Yeah.
there's also 8 types of introverts that you can get, and if you get them, then you'll get the whitelist for artifacts. But the artifacts launched this year, so is it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
just like a is that
yeah.
just like a Discord role?
Yeah. So
Okay,
it's basically a way, we have a lot of ways for you to like to make it fun for you to collect introverts. And one of the first one is for you to complete a set, right? So there's this guy here who completed a set yesterday. He's from Brazil. Let me show him here. So let me pull out Discord. So this guy, he completed a set. What is a set of introverts? Is introverts in the 8 different cosmos. You see this one here is art cosmos. This one is movies. This one is anime. This one is games. This one is music. This one is books. This one is sports. This one is fashion. So this is what introverts or these characters are more into. But that doesn't mean like that this character here is into anime and also in books. But this is like his preference, of the character. And this is in the metadata of the collection. So if you click on this one in the floor here, it says Inner Cosmos movies. So, and you can click on and see all the introverts in the movies cosmos, right? So as you collect introverts, it's always good to collect in different cosmos, right? Because if you one day made to 8, you're gonna make an inner cosmos set, which is showed in your, it's reflected as Discord roles. It shows in your Discord, but also there's this whole kind of there's benefits into it. One of it is giving an extra whitelist spots to our mints, but also it gives more staking rewards too. So you gain a bonus for just collecting them in different cosmos. So let's say you have 10 introverts and you don't have a set yet. You can trade your way into it. There's going to be people for you in the community to trade. And if you make a set with the same quantity of introverts, you get an extra whitelist and you get also a bonus staking reward. So yeah, it's also a fun way to do and collect things more for more people who are more deep in the project. Like I consider that if you have more than 3 introverts, you are already more deep within the project, right? So those are for those people, So if you hold 3 introvert, you have something like I need to get a set, and the sets will give you things. So yeah, that's the cosmos, and this is going to be important for the future inner cosmos, which is going to be this universe, because this universe is going to be shaped by what your inner cosmos is, and also some traits in your introverts, right? So each single introvert, it's going to have its own inner cosmos. Okay, we still don't know if this is going to be like an upgrade within the introvert NFT, like adding the cosmos, or actually creating something like the cabins that you see in Ape Society, So we still don't know that, but yeah, definitely, if you hold one introvert in the future, you're going to be able to mint for really cheap or upgrade your NFT into the inner cosmos. So it's a one-by-one allocation because every introvert needs its own universe, right? So yeah, and you'll be able to pair those, and imagine a place where you're going to see your wallet, and if you have the introvert in the inner cosmos, you're going to be able to see something and interact with something, right? So yeah, that's the idea for the future. And then you have all these different things also called artifacts that you can combine to in the inner cosmos and craft this thing. So it's all about creating an experience. Like I told you, I joined Discord, I bought the NFT, I stake, and now what? So we gotta, I think in the future, especially next bull run, next years, NFT projects gotta be better on that, or having an extra experience. And it has to be very simple. It has to be easy. And it doesn't need for the person to be everyday grinding, that's one of the things I actually like about Ape Society. They thought about it. You go there, you craft, and you wait a week, and then you can do another thing that is already done and craft again. So it's kind of more slow-paced game, It's not something that you're going to have to every day keep grinding, because a lot of us are only investors, right? So we are not gamers. So yeah, we have to think on those two.
It's such a smart thing to make people wait too. It's so frustrating being the person who's waiting. And I just downloaded or re-downloaded Clash of Clans again after years and years of not playing. I saw my brother playing the other day, and I was like, I gotta get I gotta, do a raid. Let me steal somebody's elixir. Let me steal somebody's stuff, And when I first started that game, it would be like, oh, you have to wait like, an hour and 45 minutes for your troops to build up, and then you can attack. And I used to,
Okay.
Yeah, while I was at work, I would make sure my troops are going so that when I take my break, I can do a battle. And then I'll immediately train up my troops so that when I go back to work, maybe next time I get a break, I can do another battle, and it keeps you patiently waiting, right? And I think with Ape Society, they're doing a good job with that too. It's like, here's something to keep your mind occupied for a week or two. and then come back to us. And in the meantime, they're building in the background. So even though it takes them a while to build, everybody's kind of already used to patiently waiting. And I
Yeah,
really like that as like
yeah,
a business model.
yeah, it's a different take, on this kind of gaming thing that I really like. It's not fast paced. It's a little more slow paced. But and also there's something that everything that you're going to craft in the future, the marketplace for you to sell, like for example now Ape Society I think is using Flipper. So they register their collection in Flipper, you can buy in Society. Everything's going to be using your token, right? So if you want to get a rare item that you don't have a soul portals or you don't have anything to craft, it's going to be in the market, right? So today, for example, if you go to Flipper, there's going to be people there buying the items that you need to make the card because they have a lot of society. So they're just buying the card and grabbing a deck of card, or they can even buy the deck of card. Like if someone crafts a deck of card, can go there and list it to sell. That's going to be a lot expensive because there's only 500 of them. But yeah, so you create a marketplace around that, and now, which is really good, you can just use Flipper. You don't need to create your own marketplace for that, for your items, right? So yeah, I think Ape Society is a great example of the idea of what we're saying, like slow paced gaming and gamification within NFTs, and they're doing super well. I'm pretty sure Bored Ape is doing something similar, um, within all their collections, right? They have this companions. They are launching a lot of NFTs, and I'm pretty sure they are working on a game. They hired a guy from Epic Games, high tier guy from Epic Games to run things there. So they're probably doing something similar with that, like collectibles and a gamified experience. In their case, I think they're going to other side, which is their metaverse, doing something with it. Of course, they have like the whole metaverse kind of working right now. So yeah, but yeah,
With the soul portals, I know that you have the ultra rare components with the music and then the seasons and stuff like that. Will the portals also have ultra rare components to them?
yeah. So we're gonna have 8 portals that are gonna be what we call the ultra rare or the super rare portals, and those are gonna be revealed later on. So if you get an NFT that says, "Oh, you got an ultra rare," it's gonna be revealed later. Then it's gonna be special. Then it's gonna be a one of a kind portal. So there's gonna be 8 portals. There's gonna only have one, and the portal that I'm saying here, because the name of the collection is Soul Portals, but what I'm saying the portal is, for example, on this case here, the portal is the pen rose here, with the cat inside. That's the portal trait. On this case here is the cybernetic eye. On this case here is the Arabic lock with the body inside of it. So these are portals, right? We are gonna have inside the collection around 25 to 30 different portals, and each portal has a different thing. So you can go in and collect all the portals, or you can just collect the ones you like. But there's a lot for you to collect, and also there's going to be 8 more. There's going to be one-on-one, so 8 one of a kind portals, summing up with those that I told you. Yeah. So there's going
Gotcha.
to be that. Yeah.
I knew too with the last portals that you had, the ones that I believe are only 58. You said that those are going to be airdropped, but before you told me that, I had a question, and I was speculating that maybe the other 3 artifacts were going to be used in like a burn event to create these super rare portals. So I'm just going to ask generically:
Mm.
is there going to be maybe some sort of burn event similar to what mutants are doing tomorrow, where you burn 2 of their NFTs with a little bit of, in your case, CP, and then create maybe another NFT to maybe give value in this super, combined NFT and also limit the supply?
Yeah. So someone in our team brought that idea, but I'm not gonna talk much about it because it's not what we want for today. But definitely in the future, um, to be able, because we call them artifacts, right? So Soul Portals is an artifact, Wild Spirits is an artifact, Oracles is an artifact, And then the ultra rare 58 is another type of artifact. It doesn't have a name yet, but we're going to release it soon. So what if you could combine different types of artifacts to create something higher, right? So there's ways for do that. You can combine without burning. You can combine to generate something, right? Which is what we're thinking. So you get these three things and you generate something new. But we can also create a burn event for that. So that's not like off the table, but it depends a lot on where we're gonna be next year, hopefully in a bull market. It depends a lot, right? How many people are using that? Like how it depends a lot, you know. I think one of the reasons why mutants decided to do that, it's because of demand, right? So if we had another bull run, a lot of people using, then 8,000 NFTs is a lot. Sorry, maybe it's not that much, you know, considering you have thousands and thousands and thousands of people using your ecosystem, right? Why are you going to limit to just that? But because of market, they had this idea, and also because they thought they wanted to. I know the team, like I know Andy, he's from Brazil, so we speak a lot. We have a lot of calls. Like he calls me occasionally. I also helped him a little bit with the art for the new mutants, like giving him, man, you have to triple your number of traits of that, things like that. So I'm really caring about mutants. Okay, I love that project. I care a lot about it. And so yeah, one of the reasons they decided, because they wanted to go with a more with an art that people can connect in all chains, and you can see the character they created is a character that can be relatable. It's very similar to Utes and other big projects out there, because they are going cross chain, right? They're releasing their stuff in Polygon and things like that. So it's a different case, but yeah, I also love that. I think they're minting what, tomorrow? They're minting tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're meeting May 4th tomorrow. If you're seeing this in the future, they're meeting May 4th. And it's going to be the first time actually minting something with a token, ADA, in SIP68, right? And it's a token, ADA, and bird to NFTs. So it's not easy. It's a complicated process. So there's also the technology thing, right? It's not that easy to kind of do that burn events, things like that, you know. Hopefully, of course, you get dirt birds to help us. But yeah, there's only a few people who can make that. So yeah, definitely something that can be considered in the future when crafting stuff, right? Why not burn things? But right now, we are not thinking on burn artifacts or any kind of things. And what's important for people to hear here is that uh, there's only going to be 6,858 introverts. Like the characters, we are not creating any more characters. So this is really important. A lot of collections uh, um, sometimes needs to create some new NFTs because of the ecosystem, because of something, but they're creating more characters. Like we figure out that if we're not creating characters, we can still keep the value of introverts, because they're not going to be different types of characters or avatars or things like that, you know. So artifacts are not going to be characters that are going to of course there's going to be liquidity poured into artifacts, of course, but in the sense of a collectible, we're not going to make any more characters like the introverts, you know. So yeah.
Gotcha. No extroverts coming out.
Yeah, no extroverts coming out. Yeah.
Yeah, before we give away the whitelists, let's go with, I have two more questions. I wanted to ask about the app a little bit. Could you explain kind of what the app is going to be used for and maybe when it'll come out?
Yeah, let me grab some. Let me see if I can show you some screens here. Uh, so we decided we were supposed to launch the app like a month ago, but we decided to postpone that a little bit. Let me show you actually a screen here, which I haven't showed that much people. We decided to postpone a little bit to focus 100% on soul portals. That was the first reason. The second reason is because most of the projects right now are in survival mode. So when you ask them, oh, do you want to join our project? It's costs our app, it costs X, Y. Man, I love the idea, but right now we don't even like we are not sure if we're going to CNFT Con. We are not sure even if we're going the important events that we need to go. So we are saving money. We don't know how long this bear market is going to be, and they're totally right because what happens is I really think that at least project owners, like at least they got to be prepared for next April. So we gotta be prepared for another until the next Bitcoin halving. We're gonna have this sideways action. Oh, we're going up. No, we're going down again. Oh, we're going up. No, we're going down again. So for us to see like a $3 Cardano again, like a really huge volume spike in NFTs, I think we're gonna need Bitcoin to go crazy. We're gonna need crypto narrative to change. We're going to need NFT narrative to change, or us to change the name of the NFTs. Stop calling it NFTs and call it digital collectibles. I don't know. Amazon, for example, is launching a store really soon, a digital store, which they're going to sell NFTs on it, but they're calling digital store. So yeah, I believe projects has to be prepared. And one of the reasons we're making this as a utility was for projects to have their own app. They're going to have to buy introverts, similar to a model used in Mutants, right? And that's, I don't know if you know that, but Mutants is the project that is going to have their app made by us. So we're going to do their mobile app with our platform. But also they said like to us, like, don't rush it. Let us do our mint. We're going to do a crazy mint in May, and we're going to have other stuff related to our NFTs. So we're not rushing with their project, but we decided to not rush with ours or not deliver ours yet because we want to focus on supportals, and also we didn't want to deliver something, put something out there, and then people are waiting for a better market. With that said, what we plan is, and let me show you here's some this is part of a presentation that we're showing to some projects, right? So this is an example of you seeing your introverts collection within the app, right? So here you have a really similar experience than what you have on maybe if JPEG Store had an app, but you have here a toggle that shows your wallet, which is similar than what CNFT Tools does, right? So it's kind of like if CNFT Tools has an app and stuff like that. But what's interesting here is that we're using Discord for verification, okay? So whatever you have verified in Discord, which you need to do to mint stuff, to get whitelist, to verify your holdings, etc., we're gonna show in here. So you don't need to manually put all your wallets. And we figured that for 90% of the people, this is a much better experience than getting multiple wallets and putting stuff. So you log in with Discord, everything is there. And then it's going to show like some stuff that doesn't show in JPEG, which is the cosmic points, or we can show staking rewards, how many staking rewards you win for that specific NFTs. We're going to have special filters, like, for example, filtering as I want to see traits that I don't have. So you can filter and only see traits that you don't have already, So we're thinking about collectors and how collectors can collect. And there's also going to be a cool way for you to, and we're thinking on that too, to show this to a non-holder, right? So let's say you're not a holder of introverts. So there's going to be a very easy way. Just not the final interface, but it's something like that. But there's going to be a very easy way if you are non-holders to see things. So you're going to see what is the collection, what are the different types of NFTs you have. We're going to have each trait, you can click on it and see about that trait, like information about that trait. So not only the description on chain of the NFT, the actual description from the artist explaining that specific trait and why he did that. So we're going to have more information about the collection. So if you find someone, oh, you love introverts, so download their app. You're going to learn everything about them throughout their app, and then it's it's a totally different experience. You're probably not going to hear the name NFT. You're just going to download Introverts, and then you're going to see about the collection, everything, right? So yeah, that's one example about the app, and it's probably the first beta version after the mint. We're going to be finalizing. Hopefully the mint go all's well, and the next thing that we're going to launch is the app after the mint. So yeah.
Well, that demo looked really clean. That looks really good.
Oh,
So
thank you, man.
yeah,
Thank you.
I can't wait for that to launch because, like you said, I think showing people on a phone too, like, look, this is what I have or something, and not having to be like, hey, like, come to my house and let me bring you upstairs into my dirty bedroom or whatever, and then have you sit there while I load up pool.pm with all my NFTs, and then I'll have
Exactly.
to like, oh,
Exactly.
it's just the whole hassle. I can just shove it in their face with my phone. So I think
Exactly.
that's awesome.
Exactly. Yeah, and this is kind of the brand of Introvert, which is black and yellow. But let's say we do an app for mutants. It's going to be a bit different, so they can use their colors, their NFTs. So this here is an example of staking. Now we're using Introvert's staking system, which is the same system of Chilled Calls and a couple of other projects that are using our system too soon. But this shows your balance of staking, like where you're getting rewards from. It's kind of like a bank account, like you see your balance, you see the transactions, and you see what you're earning with your investment, something like that. Okay. And then you have a page to put like an about, so explaining about what is staking. Here you can see the trades, like just like in the website that we have today. You can see that Dragon backdrop will give you six more C points a day, things like that. And then you got some analytics too. So that's another module in the app. That's staking. Let me see if I can show. Yeah, that's it for now. But we're gonna have raids too. So in Introverts, we launched a raid system where we track tweets that are raid and have a leaderboard, things like that. So we're going to bring that to the app too. So if you are a project wanting to have the app developed for us, we're going to also deliver you a raid system in case you don't have it. And a lot of projects doesn't have, or at least doesn't have a raid system with a leaderboard, which is something really cool. And it looks something like that. Let me show you here a live example of a raid here. This is Introverts Discord. So this is the Twitter raid. So every tweet that I post here, it begins to get tracked for 24 hours. And every like that you make, every comment, you win 5 raid points. Every quote retweet, 3 raid points. Every retweet, 2 raid points. And every like, 1 raid point. So if you do all 4 actions, you can win 5, 3, 8, 10, 11. So you can win 11 points in a single tweet, okay? And there's a lot of people winning that, doing that. So this is an example of what the bot will outcome by the end of the week. So when we finish the week, I basically do a command and the bot close the rankings. And here you can see the winners. We determine there's going to be 8 winners, and people are winning C points with that. And also they're qualified for a monthly big leaderboard where they can win free NFTs, things like that. So in this system, without the app, we can also implement in whatever projects wants to do it. So just reach me out and we can implement for you. Of course, there's a cost for that, but yeah, definitely we can work something out. We are talking with some projects to get this. I'm pretty sure BossCat is using something similar. If I'm not mistaken, it's the same developer. Chilled Calls not ready yet, but at one point we'll have. And also Pains, which is a project that has been acquired by Celarte, is going to use that too. And what else? And I think, yeah, I'm also talking to Timmy from Raccoons and other stuff, because rating is really important. It's not about the number of people you have in your community, but it's about what are people doing, So for example, in Introverts, we have around 100 raiders, like 100 people that registered their Twitter and are like active raiders, right? We managed to get in number 11 of most quoted project in Cardano, right? And this is like JPEG stores there, Husky, Mallard Order, etc. So all it takes, of course, there are more people commenting the post, participating, but those 100 people working together and rating every single post is everything you need. Mallard Order, they have like how many people they have in Discord. I can check it right now. I always tell that Mallard Order is a great example. So Mallard Order has 1,268 holders, right? It's not a lot of people. Those are people who hold one Mallard or more, right? So I'm not looking at wallets, okay? Looking here. So, and they are number one in Cardano, like by far. I mean, because maybe there's 300 people who are ultra active every day, like Mallard Order, Quack, Quack, Mallard Up, things like that.
I
So
was
yeah,
I was shocked with Mallard. We had the CCC yesterday, and they ended up winning the whole. We had like a bracket basically where we put projects head to head. Most people in here probably were there, but if you weren't, it's just a bracket where all, I think 8 of us or whatever it was, we voted on which projects that we thought were the better ones. And we didn't kind of go into like our whole reasoning up until the end, maybe because we had to argue like Space Buds over some other projects. But it shocked me, man. The Mallards, they beat out Clay. They beat out the Ape Society, I believe. They beat
yeah.
out everybody. They just straight up won. So shout outs to
Yeah,
Mallards.
it was very, very interesting to see. Very interesting to see. We lost for, I think we won the first round and then we lost for cornucopias. It's okay. They have the bags. But and I know a lot of influencers have a lot of bags in cornucopias, but we're probably gonna lose from Aladora because I think the job that they do, not only with the community, but with influencers and YouTubers and people that are talking about NFTs in Cardano. I don't know how you guys like to be called, or alpha group owners. I don't know, but those people that are really important to the community, they have a really good relationship, right? I also have a good relationship, but not compared to what Demos has built. So props to them. That's also important. It's not only being out there rating, it's about actually making connections, right? Being friends with people. So yeah, demos do this pretty well, and that showed yesterday. That's why they won. Shout out Mallard Order, love that project. Yeah.
Yeah, I did one of those tweets where I posted up 4 projects too, and I was like, I'll abide by whoever wins, but these are the 4 projects I'm looking at. What should I buy? And it was like 6 of the Kotas from Ape Society, 5 Goombles, 1 GC Clay, or 1 Mallard. And Mallard's just straight up won. They just crushed it. And I
Yeah.
jumped the gun regardless because I wanted to buy a Mallard anyways. But I was really curious to see what I said I would still abide even if Mallard's lost. But yeah, I'll just buy the other one too. But yeah, Mallards, they just, I don't know, man. They come out in force every time. They came out, they destroyed the vote. They destroyed the tiebreaker vote yesterday as well. So Mallards just, they have it going on, and I prefer that over these people who buy these bots, right? And then all you see on the comments and Twitter's like LFG, wag me, like let's go, and it's just like, all right, there's nothing here. But when you actually
Yeah.
have people from the community posting their pictures and retweeting and saying their opinions, that is way better. When you go through the comments and you can actually get a general idea of how people truly feel, that is a much better version of getting growth and like just like a shout out to the project. You know what I mean? Like if you go onto a tweet and there's nothing, that's horrible. But if you
Yeah.
go out to a tweet and is botted, it's just as bad. So I think this is the perfect solution to try to get true engagement on a project.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things, like, and I talk to a lot of project owners too, like our holders, like Rami holds almost like 100 introverts. Do you know Rami? Like he's one of the biggest holders. I think he's the biggest holders of Mallard Order. Is the biggest one. He holds also 100 introverts and several chilled calls, a lot of chilled calls, and a lot of other projects too. So we have a lot of holders who sympathize with other projects, right? So one of the things that I think a lot is that, of course, we have to strive for greatness, like be the best, be the number one, but at the same time, we gotta focus on also being unique, you know. So let's say, I'm going to give you an example, okay, but don't get me wrong. So um, Pepsi tried to at first be better than Coca-Cola, right? I'm going to be better product, I'm going to be number one. And then they realized that I'm not going to be able to do that because they're so big, their supply chain is crazy. So instead of spending millions and millions in marketing, I'm going to buy fast food chains. I'm going to buy restaurants. And those restaurants that I own, they're gonna have Pepsi, you know. So they like limited their budget on marketing because they said we're not gonna overcome those, and just began buying real estate and restaurants and things like that, which was an awesome thing to do. But you got to realize that it's not a run to be the top project, you know. It's also about being unique and knowing where your brand is better, what you do better, doubling down on that, focusing what you're good, you know. So we believe Introverts is a project that I want for people to, in the future, when you're mentioning great projects of NFT or digital collectibles that came from Cardano, I want Introverts to be listed there with all our arts, with our concept. We have a very meaningful concept behind Introverts, right? So I think that's what we aim for. We aim for to be maybe not like the best project number one in volume, right? Like I think what it is today, it is Clays, oh no, Space Buds, right? Space Buds is the number one. So we're not going to strive for that. We're going to strive for us to be one of the great projects coming out from Cardano in digital collectibles. And I think we introverts are going to make the chain look better. That's also something that I really believe in, at least in the short term where we don't have cross chain yet. Introverts is a project that makes Cardano looks good, you know, just like maybe Mallard Order is, or Clays, or Ape Society, you know. That's a lot when you think about. So when you're thinking about, am I going to join Introverts? Think about that. That's a project that's super unique. There's nothing similar. It's not a derivative. Like we're trying to build something totally unique with utility, community, and brand all together, focusing on those three parts, slowly building up. So yeah, I think that's something really, really cool. And Mallard Order is a project that it's gonna be up in numbers, but I also see like how they're trying to do their own thing, you know, and not be another animal collectible that do a transformation of NFTs. So they are working on other stuff. They're trying to be unique, you know. So a lot of, I think, the value that will come from projects long term is trying to do unique things. And also talking about the game last night, Block Owls also made it to the semifinals, or yeah, it made it to this Eastern Conference Finals, like the semifinals. The Block Owls, which is, I think they're minting right now, right? They're still minting.
I believe so. They have their jobbies or whatever they're called. They look sweet. That's just right now is just a rough time to mint anything.
Yeah,
You know, that was something I mentioned too. Is that you want to build during the bear market, and you always want to build, you know, bull or bear, but you know, it's hard to do a mint during the time. I guess right now in the last 2 months, you know, even we had like 7 big projects mint, and all of them went below floor price, which is pretty crazy. But again, all of them were trying to mint at a high price, like 258, I think was one of the cheaper ones, and that was from Her Monsters, or maybe it was 180 to 200. But you know, and Her Monsters was one of the only ones that went above floor, which then makes that project look really good, like it's outshining because it's one of the only ones doing well. So timing is a big part of the ecosystem that we're in, and I just wish people kind of understood that a little bit more, just because it's not that these projects are bad. Like some people will look at Kotaz and be like, oh, Ape Society's failing now. And it's like, well, not really. They had one
not
bad mint,
really.
you know,
Yeah.
or like, you know, what was the other one? There were a bunch of them. Goombles went below. Alley Cats eventually started falling, but you get the point. It's like these projects are good projects. They're just going to take some time, and maybe the timing wasn't exactly right. But you had achievements as well. So with the achievement launch on your roadmap, it came sometime after the app, and it says for CNFT Con and the World Cup. So I was kind of curious what you meant by achievements with CNFT Con and the World Cup.
Yeah, sure. Let me show you my pool PM here, which is maybe not the best pool PM out there, but yeah, let me show you so I can show the achievement, right? So this NFT here is the first achievement on Introverts. So remember I told you like you're going to be able to craft items in the future's NFT. So achievements is an example of what can be that, okay? But achievements are actually something that you earn by or going through event, participating in an event, or actually reaching some collector's goals, right? So let's say you reach 100 NFTs in Introverts and you're certified 100 Club, what we call, you're going to get a special achievement for that. Okay. And in the future, those are all going to be inside the marketplace that I showed, that I told you, with C points, etc. Right now, we're keeping them on NFTs and we airdrop them to holders, right? So you're going to get airdrops. So this one here, if you went to CNFT Con and drop by our booth and you are a holder, you got it. Okay. So for a long time, we tracked, like, we had a channel in our Discord where people were saying, I've been there, and we got the role. So it was about like 30 to 40 people, I don't know the number right now, that actually was in Discord, went into our booth and hold an introvert, right? Of course, there are more people who maybe haven't seen this yet. So I think there's one or two people that message me, oh, I was there and I hold an introvert, didn't saw that. So this is a thing that we're going to be minting as a CNFT Con. Maybe there's going to be more people. And the World Cup was an event that we did last year. And whoever held, and this is another example of an achievement. And this, of course, a lot of inspiration of what Dirtbirds do. Dirtbirds, great project. They have a very cool achievement system. So we have a trait called the soccer shirt, which is this one. So if you held an NFT like that with the soccer shirt, the 3 types of soccer shirts, if you held an NFT during the World Cup, you're going to be airdropped. You're going to be airdropped that, the World Cup achievement. Okay. So I don't know how many. I think I have the number here, but not like now for the stream. But we are like now, the system delayed, like the airdrop system, like to do everything, we delayed a little bit. Now it's live. Like we launched the CNFT Con, we airdropped it, and the next one is World Cup, but we're doing after the mint. And yeah, there's going to be more achievements throughout the year. And yeah, stay tuned. We're going to announce them. I think the next one, is going to be a collectible achievement. So an example of that, I'm not saying it's going to be that. So, if you collect one introvert with each type of skin, so one zombie, one mystic, etc., if you get all types of skins, you win something. So we're not doing that, at least now. So, but that's an example, like we can have achievements for that. So that's an early thing regarding gamification. But in this case, it's an airdrop. It's effortless. You just need to achieve that and check Discord. Maybe there's something for you to react or something like that. But in that case, people just had to message us, oh, I've been there. Yeah. Not Huli message something.
He says these achievements are very exclusive. Even 2 members were excluded. Or maybe it was just me.
Yeah,
Marcus doesn't like to have nice things.
Yeah, man, because not Huli wasn't there. M&M's wasn't there in CNFT Con. M&M's lives in the Mauritius Island near Madagascar, and she's our community manager, so she couldn't make CNFT Con. And I said, M&M's, I can't give to you. You are not there. So it's only for people who were there. I think I forgot, but I have someone like that worked in a minting platform, and that person came to me, oh, I had been in your booth, I talked to you, and I said, do you have an introvert? And he said, not yet, should I buy one? I said, yeah, buy one and I'll get you the achievement for that. I think he bought the introvert, by the way. So yeah, it's a fun way, like, and those are going to be not like you see that's an kind of an artistic piece. Um, so those are not going to be, where's the pool PM? Those are not going to be trophies or things like that. They're actually going to be artistic pieces, right? They are going to be the same, no rarity, but yeah, artistic pieces. Let me show you here again. This one, yeah. So yeah, this is kind of to show, and people who are in our booth remember that, right? We have our booth that showed around 10 of our PFPs in canvas, just like that. And we had guitar, we had our merch here, so a lot of references for people to remember that. So yeah, it's a great way. You check your wallet, you're going to remember the events that happens within Introverts. Yeah.
Gotcha. No, that's really cool. I like the idea of achievements and then giving out NFTs as kind of a reward for being at a certain place or having something at a certain time. That's a really cool idea. I think
Thank
I'm
you.
going to go ahead and do the 5 whitelist giveaways for the soul portals.
Sure.
So the
Awesome.
way that this is going to work is I'm going to ask the people in the chat to go ahead and type your Discord name. And so I'm going to do an example right now before we go ahead. And then make sure that you include the hashtag and then the number that you are. So for example, my Discord is Atlanick hashtag 6909. So I would type it in just like that in the chat. And it's going to pick one person at a time. So I'm going to pick 5 winners. And just get with me or Marcus after the stream, and we will go ahead and get you set up with a whitelist. So go ahead and do that now. And while we wait for that to happen, I'm going to get it set up on the other screen.
Can you have you seen the trailer for a mint?
I haven't.
Yeah, so I think it's good for us. Can you put like a video with sound or no?
Yeah. So when you go to present, there's going to be an option that says sound before you finalize present. You might have to close and then represent.
Let me see here. Stop screen. Share screen. Okay, got it. Let me see here. You have to see. Can you see if it's playing or not, the audio?
I'll be able to hear it if it is. I'm not hearing anything yet.
You're not hearing anything?
I might be able to do it from mine. So what is it?
Yeah.
Introverts.art/sp?
Yes, that's it.
Introverts.
Let me close here. So while we get it's always good to show this trailer. Always good.
All right, let me see if I can get it to work. Go to present. Sometimes it's a little weird. I don't know why it does that. Let's go to entire screen. Boom.
Shout out M&M's in chat. Shout out Not Huli, everyone. We're going to be in Introverts Shoe Space really soon, in about 1 hour and a half. Yeah.
And you do that every Wednesday, correct?
Every Wednesday with Not Huli and M&M's. And today we're going to announce a lot of contest winners, and we're going to have Ada Mongrels. Do you know this project?
I just heard about them the other day. I haven't gotten a chance to look into them yet, though.
Yeah, so they're going to be there. If you want to join the space to hear, they're going to talk everything about the project. They're minting May 11th.
Okay.
And yeah, it's an interesting one because it's actually a brand that is launching, and they're doing the NFT kind of a side thing with the brand. It's called Valkyrie or something.
Valkyrie?
And Valkyrie, yeah.
Okay.
And they are launching this brand, and the NFT is a side thing connected to the brand. So they are not a project, at least from what I heard, from what Swaggins told me, which Swaggins is part of the team there. And he told me that it's not about like having the minting funds, like it's not that they need that to launch anything. They're gonna launch their store, their brand without that, which is really cool, because I said, man, it's a difficult time to mint right now. If you are minting a first collection, high supply, things like that. But he's super confident, and we're going to be talking to them I think he's going to explain all about it in our chill space. So yeah.
That's what I like about your mint too, is not only is it not the first mint, but it's also a very fair price. And I think during times where it's not so hype, I think fair priced or even cheaper mints are going to get more hype than they would if they were trying to get the value that maybe, let's say, they think that they deserve to build, big website or big game. I think that's why it's important to do multiple mints and kind of space them out as you see fit, because you can always bring money into the project at different times depending on
Yeah.
bull or bear. So I really like that about your project too.
Yeah, and we pivoted, man. Like I said, we have to look at the market and what's happening and adapt, right? We had an original plan of making artifacts mint, and that's it last year. So we postponed it, and we thought it clearly. Let's spread this out. Let's put in more quality. Let's put in more work. Let's make different collections. Let's lower the price. Let's make it super affordable for holders. Like, holders are going to pay 40 ADA each plus the C points, which most of already have. And if you don't have, there's probably going to be someone in the server that is going to donate to you if you're a good member of the community. And masters and prouds pay 32 ADA. So it's really affordable, and there's a lot of incentives for people to collect multiple portals, right? So multiple types of portals, because they're going to have multiple outcomes in the future. The supply is super short. And also, if you're a new holder, let's say you don't hold an introvert, right? With the portal, you're going to be able to stake and win C points and also participate in introverts world a little bit. Of course, there's some utility reserved to only introverts, but yeah, with soul portals, you're going to be able to join introverts, at least more on the art side, and also collect staking rewards for those. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm going to go ahead and try to share it. Hopefully the audio works. If not, I'll either figure it out or we'll just show it without audio. And then we'll go ahead and we'll pick our 5 winners.
Awesome, man.
So let me know if you can hear it.
Many are the
Yes.
mysteries of our souls, much more than we dare dream. Little introvert goes about his day, soon to find that normal isn't him in any way. Am I awake? Am I asleep? This call echoing loud and deep. Wake up, wake up. This is where your adventure begins.
Yeah. And the game that was playing there was Kingdom Hearts, by the
Oh,
way.
I know. I was just about to make a comment, man. Oh my gosh. I was geeking so hard. I was trying not to smile too hard. Oh, I love Kingdom Hearts. It's one of my
Yeah.
favorite games of all time. Shout outs to y'all for
Mine
doing
too.
that.
Mine too,
Oh,
man. Mine too. That's why I put it there. And yeah, Kingdom Hearts, great game, great game. Also another game that you can craft the weapons, right? You can craft the keys, and you can upgrade the weapons, things like that, right? So great usage of gamification throughout the game for sure. Yeah.
they have one of my favorite things about video games, and that's where you unlock stuff, but you unlock more parts of it, like upgrades or abilities or stronger weapons, by using those weapons or using those abilities. You don't
Mm,
necessarily, upgrade them through buying materials and then using those materials on it. You have to use that weapon. So there's always a reason to change your weapon, and each weapon has different aerial combos and ground combos. So it makes the game just so much more dynamic when you're forced, not really forced, but you're incentivized to use different weapons over and over. And I love that about
yeah. So
Kingdom Hearts.
what he's meaning is the weapons has a level system within the weapon, right? Where you can go up in levels, the more you use them, the more you strike enemies, things like that, right?
Right. Yeah. And
Yeah,
as you
awesome.
level them up, there'll be like an extra swing for an aerial or an extra combo finisher or a stronger combo finisher, stuff like that. So it's because the game is so mash X, it
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
it to where it's actually fun to level up because it adds a different a variable to mashing X. It's not just pressing X over and over and winning.
yeah. And the visuals kept getting better, right? Especially on the last one. I played the last one. I played the three main versions, like the one, the two, and the three. The last one for PS4, right? PS4. I
Yeah.
played was it. The game is not difficult, right? That's one of the things. Like at least, unless you're playing in the harder mode, that if you take a strike, you die, things like that. But which is called, I think, survival mode or something like that. But it's definitely a game that everyone can play. Like M&M's, that's not that experienced in games. You can just go Kingdom Hearts and just play amazing story. You can put on easy mode, and you can just cruise through all it, smash the buttons, kill the enemies, and there's Disney within it. You go into Pirates of Caribbean world. You go into, I think there's Lion King in one of that. There's Little Mermaid, and there's basically your partners are Donald and Goofy. It's you playing with your characters, then Donald and Goofy battling with you, and it's a mixture of Final Fantasy creators, Square Enix, and Disney. So they're using Disney IP to create that amazing game. So yeah, shout out Kingdom Hearts. We put an Easter egg there. It's one of my favorite games too.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you did that. We'll keep talking about it as we draw because we're gonna have to do these one at a time. So our first
Awesome.
winner, we'll find out who that is. Let me close this out. Sif Close. That's our first winner. Let me go find him. This is his name right here. Let me mark that down. SIF space close 9754. So if you did win, please go to the Introverts Discord. It should be linked in the description below. And make sure that you go and open up a ticket. And if it's not in the description below, because I actually can't remember if I did that, it will be in the description below. Just after this video, I'll edit it if I didn't do that already. Next winner. But yeah, the third game was so easy. I put it on the hardest difficulty out the gate. Congratulations, Moose Slayer. He was also a winner
Oh,
yesterday too.
you put it the hardest difficult.
From the beginning, put it on the hardest difficulty, and I beat it with only one death in the entire playthrough. And it's not because I'm good at
Wow.
the game. It's because the game was too easy. But
Yeah.
then years later, or maybe it was just a year later, people were complaining that it was way too easy. And that was one of the things I had to complain about too. And they created, I think, a different mode or a
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
level of difficulty. So shout
Yeah.
out to them for listening to their community.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately, a
think
little
on
bit
the
late.
expansion they had an expansion. I didn't play the expansion, but they released that mode, and it's fun to see in YouTube because you then have to create strategies to not get hit, or at least like for speed runs, things like that. But it's insane, man. There's when you see a video of a speedrunner making it through the game, it's even more easy. Like if you knew to use how to use their abilities, etc. So yeah,
They
I
make it
think
look
the
easy,
first
but
one, the first one, maybe because I was too young, I don't know, but the first one was actually hard. At least I remember Sephiroth, right? That there's a Sephiroth battle, things like
yep.
that. You couldn't do crazy things like you didn't have that much power. I think that's it. But it's also a great game to play. Even though it's easy, you can put on hard and you're gonna have a good time. But the story is so good. Like if you grow up with Disney, or if you saw the movies like Pirate of Caribbeans, like I told you, is there, but the Disney movies, things like that. They have now a lot of Pixar stuff in there. They have Toy Story, the Toy Story world. You actually begin inside the Andy's room, and
That
you're
was
as
such a
small
good
as the
level.
toys. Yeah, and
The
then you go outside the room in the street, And then there's the car, the RC car. Like that's super fun, and it's so perfect. Like the characters, the voicing, the storyline. So it's kind of you joining Disney World, and having to solve something. There's something bad happening, right, in that world. And like Toy Story, what else? Big Hero, the Pixar movie,
Oh
Big
yeah.
Hero 6.
But
Yeah,
but when you play 3, they do start you off with Toy Story, and it's amazing. You start off in his room, like you said, and then
yeah,
you go to this toy store, and the toy store has multiple levels. It's got so many different stores to go through and hidden things to find. I was like, this game is gonna be amazing. And their theme song, which they mix with Skrillex and one of their other girl vocalists,
yeah.
was
Mm-hmm.
fantastic. And then after you beat the story of or the Toy Story, all of the worlds are super short, super small, not a lot of detail. And I was like, come on, like Toy Story was perfect. All you had to do was like rinse and repeat.
Yeah, yeah. I had some critiques like that too, but yeah, I remember also a very cool Neverland. They did Neverland in one of the things. They did Lion King. They did Hercules. Hercules was super fun.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of stuff to do there. Halloween Town, which is from the Nightmare Before Christmas, right? The
that's one of
movie.
my favorite ones.
Yeah, Agrabah is really cool too,
Oh yeah,
from Aladdin.
you
Yeah, the
bring me
one that
back.
I didn't like a lot was the Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the
Oh
Pooh on
same.
100
Yeah,
Acre Wood is kind of lame, but
yeah.
yeah, it's cool. They have mini games. They have this kind of stuff, which is but it appeals to all ages. That's what's fun. Like, and you can play with your partner who is not into gaming. He will like it because it's Disney. That's also a good thing. Yeah.
So Triple
Triple
Threat just
threat,
won
yeah.
this one. We're about to draw the last one. So good luck, everybody. Good luck. Good luck.
You got the names, right? You need to send me
Yep,
the names in Discord, okay?
I got you. MT Man.
MT Man. He's a big holders of introverts. Shout out to MT Man. You got another one, my friend.
Let's go.
You got another one. Let me see how many total. Let me put the roll here. Yeah. Congrats,
Let me send you that list
MT
now just before
Man.
I forget.
Yeah, send to me. I can put it really quickly. It's gonna show in your Discord role. And yeah, MT Man has a lot of introverts. He has more than 25 introverts, okay? And Empty Man is going to be able to mint 8 soul portals with his holdings. And right now, he's going to mint one more.
Nice.
So yeah, he won one more. Congratulations, my friend. And also, Empty Man holds one of the 58 ultra rares. He's one of the holders of those special introverts NFTs. Shout out
Nice.
Empty Man, great guy.
Oh, he says, can I give it to someone?
Yes, you can give to someone, my friend.
Yeah, if you want to do that inside of the Discord ticket, maybe you can go into Introverts Discord and find somebody inside the Discord, or
Sure.
yeah, something like that. And remember, guys, there's going to be 5 more given away inside of my Discord. I'm going to try to host that as soon as this podcast ends, which is going to be probably pretty soon. And I'm going to pick the winners in like a day or two. So
This is for holders of your NFT, right?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Show your NFT in the stream, man. There's a lot of introverts holders who doesn't know that. Maybe they're
Will
gonna
do.
look at.
So
Yeah.
my project's called the Atlanick Ocean, and it launched back last year in March. We did 300 NFTs created by the BlindGirl, who's a good friend of mine. She used to create a lot of art in the space. She moved away and got married, so she's a little bit preoccupied now. Hasn't been making art too much, but shout outs to her. She's an OG for sure. So these are the common ones. Anyone that's riding a surfboard or riding a keyboard, something like that, riding a coin, those are all the commons. Those count as one entry into the whitelist giveaways. We sometimes do NFT giveaways as well. And the ones that are sniping, these are the uncommon. So these will count as 3 entries into the raffles, and they do stack. So you can buy multiple if you'd like. And then the ones that are portrait, let me see, or landscape, whatever it's called. These ones right here, These are mythical. There's only 10 in the entire collection, and these count for 10 entries. So also I'll show the Discord real quick. So if you are a holder, you can go over to my Discord, and then you just have to verify. There's Seeker Verify, and then there's regular Verify. The Seeker Verify was something I was testing with NFT Seeker. Don't worry about that. What you're going to do is you're going to come in and you're going to do, where is it? Verify your NFT. So this is going to be through CNFT.tools. A lot of people understand how to do that already. If you don't, there's kind of a little explanation above. And then once you have your role, you're going to drop your address into drop your address, and the bot will pick it up, or it'll tell you that there's no NFT there. That's because if you just bought one, it needs to do an update. So just message me or message Mod. We can do the manual update. Otherwise, it'll update every 12 hours, and then yours will be added. And then all you have to do from there is go to whitelist raffles. And every time that we post a whitelist, you just have to react down here, and then you're entered into the giveaway. And then for the winners, I come into here and we run the bot, and you'll find out if you won. So usually you win, and then I'll say, go open up a ticket in that Discord, and I send the names over to the project, and yeah, get your Discord, you get your whitelist spot. So yeah, that was that's pretty much everything for the Atlanick Ocean NFTs. I know there hasn't been a whole lot of whitelists or a whole lot of new projects minting lately, so prices have been falling, but these minted for 25 ADA, a year ago, so still holding up pretty decently. I'm pretty happy with the turnout.
Awesome, friend. And the most important thing is you're active, you're consistent with your content, trying to make, videos. And yeah, I think it's important. I see you out there too in spaces, sometimes join spaces too, which is really cool. And you are a firm believer of NFTs, especially Cardano. Like you were saying yesterday, I think like you are in a sense a Cardano maxi, but also you understand that people are diversifying and trying to find new ways of getting money. So you're always learning, like there's Polygon, there's other chains, and it's okay. Because guys, the future is going to be cross-chain. Maybe not now, not short term, but at one point it's not going to matter. Your digital collectible is going to go throughout the blockchains, But anyway, so yeah, great job you've been doing, and happy to support it. I'll buy one. I'll buy one and be part of your club. Of course, I'm not going to join the raffles, but I'll buy one and give a shout out to people. Actually, there's one right now which is 75. I might grab that.
Yeah, the floor is pretty sporadic. We go through some phases where we used to go through phases where people would list pretty low, but people kind of scoop them up every time they go below 40. And now I think Voodoo, who's my mod and a super big homie, he helps me out with posting like the upcoming projects in the Discord when I'm not available, and he'll do the Smasher passes. So I'll show that. So the Smasher pass section in my Discord is something that we came up with to try to figure out overall sentiment with people's mints. So sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm definitely going to mint this. It's such a cool project. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do this Smasher pass, and the whole community is like, no, that's a dumb mint. And I'm like, oh, I would have lost money. Like I thought this was good. So it kind of helps you, save your money or make some money, even because there might be a project where you don't know and you're like, oh, that looks stupid. And then everybody's voting on it. And you're like, oh, maybe I should give this another look. So
wow,
yeah,
can I steal that idea? Because we have raffles in our server, and often I have projects getting in touch with us, and we have to judge it, right? Should we put in a raffle? Should we not? Is it going to be a rug or not? Then it's a great way for us to also survey community, right? And just put it there and see if people give a yes or no. And then we can get back to the project owner and say, man, we put in our community to vote. We had a 20-1 voting of people that doesn't want your whitelist spots, but thank you, So we actually have like the community doesn't want, And at least like we made the effort to actually talk about the project and people look onto it, So it kind of helps a little bit. So you're helping those projects, even though people are voting no, you're actually giving exposure to your holders without saying like mint that, So it's a great idea, man. Great idea.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of projects before I did this too that I was just like, I was super excited to cover it, and then maybe I'd find something out a little later, and I'd be like, oh man, like maybe I shouldn't have covered this project. Maybe like people are gonna mint it now or something. And I was like, how could I fix this? Because there's always gonna be more information that comes out. Because all of my videos normally are Sunday, Monday, depending on when I work. And I would let's say cover a project, and then there would be a Twitter space tomorrow where they just maybe they talk some shit and they piss off a lot of people, and now it's like, okay, well, that video just 5 hours ago or 10 hours ago is now completely wrong and irrelevant, and I don't have time to make another video to update people. But if they're in the Discord, then at least they can kind of check in and see what's happening, because that will always be updated.
Awesome. Spark Lab, shout out Spark Lab.
Hell yeah, Spark Lab's doing some cool things. I'm definitely going to be a part of it, making some videos. So, shout outs to Blake for trying to create a new video streaming service.
Yeah, tomorrow is Mutants Day, man. Are you excited?
I am. Today's actually my birthday, so I'm trying to think of what I'm going to do.
Oh, happy birthday, my friend! Happy birthday!
Thank you, man. Thank you. The big 3-0.
I already gave you a present.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I planned on minting the Introverts whenever your mint was a year plus ago, and there was something like a delay for 30 minutes, and I was like, oh, okay, no big deal. And I think I was playing like Rocket League or something, and I was like, all right, I'll come back after a game or two. And I came back, and the mint started, I want to say it was like 10 minutes early, and I was like, what? Yeah. No, how did I miss it? But I was just like, well, man, I guess that's my fault.
But it was a mess. It was a mess.
It
we had problems with metadata. It was crazy. But we learned a lot. And then we made another mint, like a Holders mint, different platform, not and Maker. And we did, it went pretty smooth. And that kind of helped us. But then Maker, even though like the problem, it was not on their side, the problem is on our side. But after what happened in our mint, they have all sorts of checks that they don't let you upload metadata with any kinds of errors or inconsistencies, things that are wrong. But they didn't have that, but it's our fault. It was our fault. And yeah, we had problem with metadata. And also, a couple of minutes before mint, we starting get hacked. So I get people DMing me, is this the address of mint? I just sent 58 data to this address. Didn't arrive. So I started getting DMs a couple of minutes before the time. And because of all that's happened, I kind of panicked. And okay, guys, I'm posting it now. Like, I can't do this anymore, like we're being hacked or scammers. There was no security bot back then. So there's scammers, things like that. And then people were upset, man. People, oh, I waited. And now you posted the address before, just like you, maybe were upset. But after a couple of days, we solved everything. It was actually a good thing because all the flippers, not you, Atlanick, but a lot of the flippers kind of got mad because the public supply was not the highest supply. The highest supply was whitelist and other things. But I think public people that really wanted to be part of the project got whitelist, right? So the public, there was a lot of flippers. So there was a lot of people saying, Marcos, I'm going to kill you because I couldn't make money with your project,
Man, I can't stand stuff like that. Oh.
But man, I understand people getting mad, but people like
death threats though. Come on, man,
it's crazy.
You're ridiculous.
Yeah. It's just like the hype. But man, the hype was so big back then, guys. Back then, when you minted something for like 50 ADA, it was instant 3x, 4x flip. If it was a floor. So if you get a rare, it's like 6x, 7x, maybe even 10x or more. So there was a lot of excitement with mints, right? People got hyped, and it kind of changes the mind a little bit, So I understand. But at the time, that's why, and that's why you missed it. And I had a lot of people talking, like I went in spaces and talked about it. It was my mistake. But later on, we fixed that, and I think our community whoever minted and passed and went through that, especially the metadata problem, and believed in the project. Like our biggest holder today didn't mint a single introvert and bought the dip. He was seeing like people listing for 68. We never went below floor price, but people minting near floor price because of the metadata problem. And he has more than 300 introverts right now. And he was buying like for 60, 70. He was getting rares for 100 ADA. So he still buys today, but he built like his big bag with most of his intros back then for really affordable price. And still, since we are 205 floor, it was still a good price, you know. But yeah, so we got a lot of people, and I think that created a resilient community, you know. So if something bad happens to us, we've been through hard shit before, you know, and community understand that the team, me, not Huli, M&M's, D Nice, Paolo, everyone, Master of C, everyone that is working in introverts will try the best to fix it as soon as possible, and we'll be transparent about it, you know. So that was the most important thing. I joined Discord chat, voice chat, and was talking to people, answering questions, trying to get the most transparent that I could on fixing the problem. And I think people like that, you know. How do you gonna act in adversity, you know, when there's a problem like that? So I think we acted really well. We could have done a little things a bit faster, but in a couple of days everything was solved and our floor began to rise again. And yeah, and then we kind of stabilized on the 180, like 3x floor, and we went up all the way. Like our volume was began super high, so it was kind of a different mint where we had a lot of people joining in afterwards because of the dip, and of course the whitelist. So all these public people kind of, I'm gonna flip and leave, you know. So the action that you usually have on mints for flippers for us was super fast, and we got rid of the flippers faster, but we still got what I like to call slower flippers, you know, which is someone that is going to buy the NFT for 60 and then sell the other day for 120, you know. This is super healthy for a project, but maybe those guys who are buying for 58 and then sell for 65 and then buy for 65 and sell for 75, and they buy for 75, they see a drop, they sell for 60, you know, stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, this is healthy. This is healthy too, and it happens. But with us, I think those went out pretty fast and opened a lot of opportunities for people who had whitelists and wanted to buy more, new people to join in. So it was a different type of mint, and that created, I think that helped created a super strong and resilient community, you know. Yeah, so it is a story, and it's part of who we are. And I think now I try to see with good eyes, you know, like what good it brought to our project. And definitely there's that we created a more resilient community because we passed through that week with a lot of problems, you know.
I think the only people that are really going to make money are going to be the ones that try to sell for 2x's, because even 50% gains with fees, you're not going to be making too much money. You might make 10 ADA here, maybe 5 ADA here, you know, but with fees, like, you really have to think about your entry and your exit if you're trying to do it just for money. So I don't know. I think it's better to find a project that's actually building something, wait for a dip, like pretty much every project is during a dip right now. So any project that you like, now is a decent time to get in. Not the best time. I mean, we've already seen Mallards at like 500. Now they're at 750. We saw Clays at 1800. Now they're at 21 again. Ape Society was at 4,500. Now it's at 53 again. So maybe not the best time, but this is that time where it's like you're waiting for volume to come back and you see it, and it's much cheaper than the 10K ape that, you know, was one of the peaks, or the 15K ape peak. So I don't know. I'm definitely thinking about getting back into some projects. You know, like I got back into Mallards, or I got into Mallards actually for the first time. Got a really nice Mallard for 800. So I'm just going to be holding for a while. I don't think, you know, buying for 800, selling for 900 is really worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. there's a lot of time and effort and energy you put into doing those, especially in days like that, especially with projects that have higher price. I think luckily Introverts has a it's for its quality and for what it can become, it has a lot of upside, right? And the problem with Cardano right now, and when we saw this in the end of the bull season too, we saw this in the bull season too. We have a ceiling that only one project have been able to break it. It's called Ape Society. Maybe because of the token, their staking token, etc. But we can't break like 4,000 ADA, 3,000 ADA. It's very difficult to break that ceiling because of the liquidity, because the amount of people with that purchase power in the space. Even in a bull, we were having that problem. Projects went all the way to 2, 3K ADA and then it lose steam. Chilled calls the same thing. They got a run and then it lose steam. It all bumping into 3K, 4K ADA. So trying to get a mix of blue chip projects, which are super safe bets for the future, but also projects that can be higher X potential, because when liquidity comes, 200 data is going to be cheap, right? And like you think 800 data is going to be cheap, 200 data is going to be even cheaper. So there's a higher X potential, higher risk, but at the same time, what are the higher X potential with lower risk? And I think Introverts kind of fits in there. It's a project that's unique, that has planned for longevity. So we plan to stay for a long time. I'm working on something that I truly believe in, and I could be doing that for years. And also, I think we have a strong community, and yeah, it's an affordable price right now if you think of that. So Introverts going to 600, maybe it's easier for a project who is at now sitting at 600, sorry, 1000 ADA to go to 2000 ADA, because of the liquidity issues we have. So, but yeah, like it's different opportunities. Like what I'm doing personally right now, I have blue chips. I have like Ape Society, I have Clays, I have other blue chips, but also I have some projects like not only Introverts, but I have Raccoon Syndicate, which is like 200 ADA, 180 ADA, very upside potential. I have Keyboard Warriors, 140 ADA, very upside potential, like great team, working on games, things like that. There's Goombos right now, 100 and what, 20, 30, super affordable, like below mint. That's actually a higher chance. So you have these projects that have really good entry points. They're also healthy for Cardano. We can't rely only on having blue chips. We need those quality projects that have affordable prices right now. So yeah, I think there's Mallard Order is a great one. It sits in the middle. That rabbit was like in that spot too, like 600, 700. But lately they dropped. I don't know why. They dropped like to 200 ADA. Also can be one of those projects that can get back, depending what they do. So really affordable right now. So yeah, there's all sorts of opportunities there. Mallard Order is a great. I consider more on the blue chip than on the like high risk, high reward thing, or medium risk, high reward thing, because Mallard Order has one of probably the most vocal community out there. And I think this is even though some people don't like the art that much because it's a duck, they have a really good community, and they have plans for utility in Web 2 outside of Web 3, which is really cool. So definitely Mallard Order is a pick. So maybe some people are gonna pick Mallard Order and not pick Clays, because they think there's more upside. So with Introverts, we're kind of in that. If you think of a first wave being Clays, Space Buds, and Ape Society, and then you have the second wave, which can be Mallard Order, or which is lower right now, but you can put in there. Maybe that pixels is up is what, 1000. And then there's a third wave of higher returns, but I don't consider high risk. And then you have Raccoons, Introverts, Quick, and other projects. Disco Solaris another project that's really been holding strong. So yeah, a lot of options, not financial advice, guys, just my opinion. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we are hitting that 2-hour mark, and I do have to do some things, but thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, man. Thank you for giving away some whitelist spots and explaining everything to us. And thank you so much for my birthday gift. I really appreciate that. And is there
Awesome.
anything that you wanted to say before we end the space? Anything we left out, maybe?
Yeah, just being grateful for you and our community, everyone who's shown up here in the stream. I know people comes and goes. Congratulations to the winner for the whitelist. I hope you enjoy that mint, and also maybe you can become part of maybe you can get an introvert too. It's not obligation, but maybe you can get an introvert too, which is fun. But yeah, So Portal is going to be a fun mint. We're always on Discord. Me, not Huli, M&M's, the team, like everyone is always there for you. And yeah, just being grateful, man. It's been a long year, but at the same time, very rewarding for us and myself. I'm super motivated to build this project and also contribute within Cardano. So yeah, that's my message. Stay safe out there, guys. Stay humble and try to enjoy it more. Things will get better.
Definitely. That's a good note to end on.
Yeah.
But as always, guys, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, Marcus, once again. And remember to get outside, see your friends, see your family. We're here to make more money so that we can spend more time with them. Until next time,
Yeah.
guys. Peace.
Bye bye.